This news update is brought to you by...
So, I'm meeting Rico later. Gotta check in with the girls, but first, let me check my usage on the Maritime app. Now, what should I wear? Hashtag sexy. He's here.
Monday, April the 27th, 2015, and this is your Barbados Today morning news update. I'm Emmanuel Joseph. Thanks for joining us. We begin with news of concerns from Industry and Commerce Minister Donville Inniss about the level of absenteeism at the workplace in Barbados. Inniss is calling on organizations such as the Barbados Association of Office Professionals to help rid the island of this scourge. Addressing the 40th anniversary dinner of the association, Inniss blamed what he called questionable sick leave for much of the absenteeism. The outspoken cabinet minister said the practice by doctors of issuing sick certificates for employees when those workers are known not to be ill was affecting national production.
I am mindful that some of it relates to genuine health challenges of individuals, and in those cases, we must never ease up on the battle to get our workers to take better care of themselves. Of course, I shall not bury my head in the sand with respect to some very questionable issuance of sick certificates in this island. And this is indeed a matter that must be of national concern as well. I believe firmly that there is now a need for the professionalism of some professionals to be questioned in this country in this respect.
And the Prime Minister Freundel Stuart has taken issue with Barbadians who speak unflatteringly of persons who serve the role of foot soldiers of a major political party. And in dismissing such persons' arrogance, he told a packed St. Paul's Anglican Church on Bay Street, St. Michael yesterday that political parties in collaboration with the trade union have enhanced the quality of life of the Caribbean people. Stuart was at the time addressing the congregation as the Democratic Labour Party kicked off its 60th anniversary celebration with worship at St. Paul's Church. In defending the role played by such committed members, Stuart, who is also the president and political leader of the DLP, noted that when individuals join the many service clubs in Barbados, no one dismisses them as yard fowls. He lauded the work being done by foot soldiers, adding that these were the people who took the message of the party across the country without any monetary reward. The Prime Minister identified former Attorney General and the first chairman of the then fledgling party, Sir Frederick Smith, for special mention, acknowledging that at the ripe age of 90, he made a special effort to attend yesterday's service. And former Prime Minister Sir Lloyd Erskine Sandiford and former Deputy Prime Minister Sir Philip Graves were also praised for their contributions to the party and the island generally. Now, meanwhile, in his sermon, Rector of the Church, Canon Wayne Isaac, tackled the issue of leadership and contended that parties must be inclusive in their practices. Canon Isaac said that divisive leadership in all spheres of life could lead to social chaos. And 29-year-old Chanel Charles is back home resting comfortably after she fell into a 20-foot well in the backyard of a home at Perkins Gap, Brittons Crossroads, St. Michael. Charles, who had complained of injuries mainly to her shoulder and feet following the incident, which occurred around 10:30 Saturday evening. When a Barbados Today news team visited her residence yesterday, a relative said that Charles was resting. A team of 7 fire officers led by the acting chief fire officer Errol Maynard rescued the woman. And the entire episode surrounding the capsized pleasure boat just off Bridgetown Port yesterday morning remains a mystery. That's according to boat owner Sean Morris. All 35 persons on board the vessel operated by Boisterous Catamaran Cruises were rescued alive after the boat got into difficulties and sank. Morris told Barbados Today that at the first he thought it was engine failure, but then the vessel started to take in water. So it is all very baffling at this stage, he said, but even though he estimates financial losses of the only boat to be in the region of $200,000, he is happy that lives were not lost. Police have confirmed the identity of the victim of Saturday night's fatal fire, which occurred at Greenfield, St. Michael. He is Leroy Worrell, 71 years old, a Barbadian by birth, who migrated to Boston as a youngster. Worrell, a retired dental technician who returns to his native island frequently, has been here for the past 6 months. He was due to return to the United States on April the 30th. His close friend Lambert Allen, 79, was caught off guard by the news of his passing. He told Barbados Today he had just buried another one of his close friends earlier in the day. He described Worrell as a nice and gentle fellow. At the time of his death, he said Worrell was home alone.
There's regional and international news after this short break.
A test of character. A test of focus. A test of will. A test of resilience. A test of courage. Barbados, the test is on. West Indies, England, May 1st at the Mecca. Tickets $30, $40, $50, and $60. It's on.
Are you Barbados is on.
Secure your future, be financially strong. Since 1983, we have been there for you. A smart range of products, great tax benefits. We're the solution to your hopes and your dreams. The Barbados Workers Union Cooperative Credit Union. The Barbados Workers Union Cooperative Credit Union. Humble beginnings to smart loans, smart savings. Save smart and borrow smarter. That's the move for me. Stability, prosperity. We're the solution to your hopes and your dreams. The Barbados Workers Union Cooperative Credit Union. The Barbados Workers Union Cooperative Credit Union.
Welcome back with news from the region that 2 men accused of setting fire to worshippers in St. Lucia 15 years ago have been sentenced to life imprisonment. After spending 14 years in jail, during which a retrial was held, the sentence was handed down on Friday in the High Court. The men, Kim John and Francis Phillip, were sentenced in the aftermath of the December 31st, 2000 tragedy in which they stormed into the minor basilica of the Immaculate Conception in Castries shortly after midnight, dousing worshippers with gasoline and setting them on fire. They also bludgeoned Sister Theresa Egan, 73 years old, to death, while the Reverend Charles Gaillard, 62, died from severe burns to his body. In all, close to a dozen worshippers suffered burns in the attack. The men had pleaded guilty to manslaughter after the Privy Council overturned their death sentence for murder. The crime is one of the most heinous in St. Lucia's history. The police said the men declared that they were Rastafarian prophets sent by God to fight corruption in the Catholic Church. And finally, on the international scene, another cold night passed in Nepal after Saturday's 7.8 magnitude quake that has killed more than 2,500 people and traumatized a nation that's still feeling aftershocks as rescuers try to get in. We pick up the story in this CNN story.
There is an issue, tent is an issue, temperature is still goes quite challenging in the night, and people will also starve if something not happened recently. Hospitals are full with people, and there are many hospitals who have also collapsed. So that's another problem, and still there are aftershocks. Even right now, while I'm talking to you, there is an aftershock, and I could feel that tremor. It is quite high. People are running, and everything is shaken. Yeah, it is very high. It is, again, it's almost about, it looks like it is about 6 or so.
Are you safe? Just make sure you're safe.
Yeah, I'm safe. But then it is difficult to stand and talk. It is, yeah, you could hear some sirens, and it is really shaking very hard and strong.
And on that note, we end our Barbados Today morning news update. However, you can join us this afternoon. Until then, remember to log on to www.barbadostoday.bb, subscribe to our e-paper and email updates, or like us on Facebook. You can also catch us on Izumi Media in bus terminals or screenplay at supermarkets and gas stations near you. Also tune into Channel 101 on Lime TV and Mix 96.9 FM to get all the latest news and sports. I'm Emmanuel Joseph. Have a fantastic day.
This news update is brought to you by...
So, I'm meeting Rico later. Gotta check in with the girls, but first, let me check my usage on the Maritime app. Now, what should I wear? Hashtag sexy. He's here.